back-to-back full
My
wrongs,
channel
full
points.
sends, and your channel points. I didn't throw any bets down. I didn't place anything on any of these matchups, to be frank.
I had to.
I probably could have gone on the first one and been a little bit more confident. Team Queso and Rebel in the Reactor. In just another few moments, we wanted to show you these pretty humans' faces for a second and go through the fly-through. Just in case you forgot who was on these two squads, we wanted you to make sure you saw their faces again.
Yeah, and speak about Rebel there for a moment. You kind of saw it. I think that major event was really the kind of the push over that hump that they needed. You kind of saw it throughout the season. They were a little kind of inconsistent, not necessarily closing out a lot of the matches in which they should, but once they got to that major, we've seen a whole different look of the squad. Unfortunately for them, they were unable to kind of hold it throughout the course of the weekend, but coming right back into this split, I would think they kind of can build off of that. The same thing kind of where I said about Fire and Ice, to where once you reach that grand finals, it kind of does something to you and makes you play on another level. Even though Rebel hasn't reached the grand finals, I think that major was kind of like a good level up, a good evolution of sorts for this squad to kind of piece it together. It's just I need to see it here, and this is a good matchup against Team Queso, to see that you have your old inconsistent ways behind you. You don't come off of a hot 3-0 on E United last night and come out and lose to a team like Team Queso. That to me would show up even more red flags than the win itself.
I gotta ask you, because I wasn't able to keep up with it. What happened with Identivez? Wasn't he supposed to be benched for a little bit there?
See, that's what I'm like. I don't know exactly. No, I know Ink is in chat. I think maybe differences within the team. Maybe Identivez wanted to come back to a North American team. You know, anything could really be the case. There's a lot of speculation kind of going on for that one. And honestly, after last night's performance, it's almost as if it never happened in that one. But Identivez is going to get that torque bow. The rest of his team, though, is going to get eliminated. Demon's going to get the shock. So the last two members that are alive, I do think they have some good weaponry, good arsenal on their side to go ahead and try to make something happen. But this is where I talked about when you go for the weapons instead of the first hill, you have to make that decision with 40 seconds left on the clock. Do I use what I gained for this hill, or do I wait for a fresh new one where you can gain the majority of the time?
Well, there's the torque out from Identivez. Doesn't find anybody with the first connection. Shot out on the Yachty. That I would have thought that he would have been protected by the revive right there, but I guess the splash damage was just too much and it overcame him. Ended up getting that kill as they go for the revive on that player. Rebel gets the retake here. They're going to be able to clean up the trash points in this situation. You see two players mounted up here in the middle of the map. Two more bolts for Identivez. He's going to go for the hot reload. He wants to get a quick pick here onto Yachty. Tries to pick him off from behind. Doesn't get that first one. Now bounces down and around. Scavzy in the area with the Lancer. Gets some damage onto him. Back A out. 2 shots in from Identivez. Will get that down. I think Identivez needs to make sure that he doesn't go down here. I love the little rotation back. He's going to make sure that Scavzy gets picked off. Yachty now picks the meat shield. Big fight over the middle of the hill, but not being solidified by either team just yet. Finally, Rebel will be able to move into it, and Danny will go through the bottom middle of the map to try to come up onto that left side and have that Lancer angle.
Pack scared me there for a moment. He scared me. I thought he was rotating off of that spawn point a little too soon, giving it up, but this is where I talked about the middle of the map. Yachty's going to be able to kind of spot where Crack's out, where that rotation is, come through and let him know. But he's also going to be the first one to rotate if that one does come through. We have a 4-man push from Team Queso, trying to overwhelm the defense of Rebel. Kardia gets taken down. So does Bronny, though. Identivez falls as well, and the third member is going to be down. It's going to be up to Crack here to stay alive, get that spawn point so they can re-push this hill as a team.
Now you see the shot over the top. Crack's not going to be able to get anything going just yet. They get the double shot down onto him. Scavzy had some help over the top. They're going to let him bleed for a while, think about his life. Now he goes out and down. Kardia with 4 bolts to his name. They might give up 2 more. They might give up about 20 more before they rotate over. Kardia just trying to make sure he knows where the rotations from Team Queso are. Fragmentation grenade over the top. Almost gets Lancered down from the opposite side. Won't go down just yet. Kardia now taking the bottom half of the hill. Scavzy will rotate on him, and he has the torque in hand. That's a huge kill, and that's the torque in the hands of a guy like Pell.
You know what Pell can do throughout his history. I don't think Gears 5 has been very friendly to Pell, especially with the amount of skill he does possess. Coming onto this fight, Scavzy's, I do think, gets taken out a little too early on rotation. Yachty falls as well. Is going to make this one a little bit easier for Rebel, but everybody's kind of still spread out a little bit too thin. Bronny gets taken out as well. So everybody falling right now is on the side of Team Queso. But the players that are still here, they get that spawn point, able to kind of get back towards the hill, and they're going to solidify that spawn point, which is kind of important. Now Team Queso has to figure it out. They have to get a pick. They have to get something to open up that window of opportunity.
Here comes Pell, revving up the torque, goes for the shot onto Crack over the top, won't be able to get it. Scavzy's finally going to get it down on Demon there in the back cubby corner. They're going to continue to try to push through. It's 4v3 on the map right now officially until that fourth player from Rebel spawns up, but he's going to be as far away as anybody on the planet from this hill. Now you see them, Pell being the first line of offense, trying to get up onto Crack. Crack bouncing around, trying to make a miracle happen. He's going to get picked off as well. 3 players and a beautiful retake by Team Queso here on the hill. We'll be able to mount up the last bit of these 30 points or so and try to get up over to the 100-point marker before Rebel does. And right now, Rebel struggling just a hair in the situation, not being able to get anything going. Pell with 1 bolt left begins to rev, looking for anybody he can pick off. He might see Kardia in that cubby corner, but he doesn't go for it. He ends up trying to push him off the backside, and he successfully opens up the Lancer lane for his teammates. The new torque boat picked up by Rebel. Not going to be able to find anything just yet. A lot of bolts out, and nobody really finding their inner Robin Hood just yet. I don't believe a lot of kills have come through from that torque at all.
We see the next hill is going to kind of reveal itself over. I do believe where Identivez at one point or another did pick up a fresh torque bow. As you can kind of see him spawning up, not going to have it in his hands anymore. And this is where it's good. Team Queso is going to lock down one side of the map. They have the top middle as well, so they're going to know where these players are coming from. And it's going to be very important that Bronny makes sure nobody sneaks around. He's being careful right now. Crack does have those frag grenades. It's going to be a real thorn in the side. Pell gets taken out. That's going to open up some moves, some opportunities for Rebel here. Goes for an up A. Yachty takes him out. Not the smartest play in the playbook, but for Yachty, it's going to work in the end. Scavzy gets taken out. Yachty falls. So Rebel, with the amount of aggression they had, are going to clean out 3 members, try to go for the revive. 1v1 for the hill. Pell and Demon. Pell, 2 great shots. Going to take him out and get to bolster on towards that lead, but only a few short seconds as Identivez and Crack spawn up and get right to work.
Now Crack will take that first positioning here. They actually get the call out there onto Yachty. They know he's by himself on this backside of the hill. They're going to try to get the double shot off onto him and get the kill. The rotation comes out. Scavzy now gets pushed to the top of that ledge. Won't be able to get anything going just yet. He's going to continue to push around. What will happen is he will fall to his knees and be cleaned up by Crack. And now the rotation from Rebel should start coming out. Pell has shut down 1. They get the revive off. So 3 players from Team Queso in the area of the next hill.
See everybody moving on over to that side of the map. It's going to be Team K, so they have both the bottom portions, so they're going to have the hill and they're going to have the spawn point, but right now it does look like it's going to be down to Demon and Scavzy on that side of the map. If Identivez can make the quick rotation, he can be there to help, but this is all for the beginning portions of that hill. Scavzy gets a nice damage lead and backs up knowing his teammates are well on the way. Crack not only has those frags, but was able to get that torque bow as well, so this could all come firing down here in just a short moment. First torque bow is going to miss as they continue to funnel these players at Team K. So back right into that frag grenade. There goes 1. There goes 2 players dead. Scavzy doing everything that he can along with Pell to stay alive and buy some time. Only 1 down is going to be cleaned up. But unfortunately, it's going to be too much. Team Queso's death beginning to be staggered here.
This is a very good defensive stand. There's a good pick there in the torque bow as well. The splash might have hit Pell just a little bit to be able to get that down. They're going to finish that off. 39 seconds left on the hill, but they're not getting any of these points. They all pushed out to finish off 2 more players. Now they have to rotate back. Demon will come back as well to mount up the defense. You see him revving the torque, trying to find Bronny on the opposite side of the map. Won't be able to do it just yet. Tries to go for the pick long range. Won't be able to get it either. 3 players from Team Queso stacked up toward that first hill over by that pillar. They know they get the win on the opposite side of the map, and they will continue to hold on to this hill and get up over 160 or so, but they need to start rotating toward the next hill, I believe, because if you allow Team Queso to fully set up, that's going to be very hard to break into in the early goings.
You can already see Team Queso just kind of conceded that hill, like you said. They're not giving it up. There was just not enough time on the hill to really make it worth it, especially with how close this game actually is. They're kind of banking on their defense here. Bronny does look like he's becoming a target. That second spot basically going to save his life. Important information knowing Identivez rotating over. they're trying to attack. They realize on the side of Rebel how important this spawn point is. So they're trying to solidify before they make a push for the hill. But right now, it does seem like they're going to get it. But just so much work. They got so many downs taken out. Some of these players, maybe even one, are going to be on their last down.
Now we see Kardia mounted up on that pillar, trying to find a little opening. Yachty will see him and call him out. He'll be marked up. Not going to be able to do anything just yet. Kardia might actually back up to where that Torque spawns, goes for the pick on it. Double Lancer comes out. Nobody in the area to help him either. You see right there in the middle of the map, that was Identivez. Kind of watched him get rolled up on. I think Identivez was supposed to be waiting for the nades. Now the Torque is in the hands of Yachty. Nades will not get picked up by anybody on the side of Rebel, and they have to rotate once again. This has been a beautiful hill hold by Team Queso, and will probably put them up over 200 points before it's all said and done, putting them within 100 points of the round and map 1 victory.
Good Team Queso. They're already on the other side of the map. They're gearing up for yet again another early hill control attempt. Some downs coming through onto Scavzy, and a kill being cleaned up onto Bronny. So players getting caught out on rotation, get caught out of positioning. These players are already weak as well. This Torque bow could do a lot of damage. It connects with a kill. Scavzy gets taken down. Rebel need to continue to play aggressive. They need to stagger these deaths. This isn't one of those typical corner hills where you get a decisive spawn. You could end up with a split spawn here coming through as they backtrack. Demon not using those grenades to the best of his ability, unable to net himself an elimination, but the points are being scored for Rebel. 30 points. They have to come back here, make it 20 now. But TQ, Team Queso finding their hold. Bronny and Pell get taken out though. Great stop by Demon.
Absolutely fantastic there. Demon will see Yachty behind him as well and begin to Lancer out onto him. They know that he's there by himself. I think you leave one person in the hill, double push him, you get that down. They're going to go and try to clean him up now. The only person in the area that could have saved him was Bronny, but I think Bronny knew better. They're going to start setting up and over-rotating toward the next. Just a few more moments left on this hill. Bronny playing the sneaky beaver, ends up getting that first kill. Now Pell tries to roll right into the Lancer of Identivez to try to maybe get a lucky one-shot kill on him. Scavzy gets called out. He's between a rock and a hard place. 19 seconds left on this hill. All those points could give Team Queso a tie, maybe even a point or two lead in the situation, but you see Rebel starting to try to rotate toward the opposite side of the map, trying to get over there for the next hill respawn.
I was about to say, that was a big opportunity. Pell getting that elimination on rotation, getting his team's time. You see Bronny going towards the flank side. That's another down for Pell. It does look like a revive and a cleanup's going to come through. So Team Queso is going to beat Rebel to the punch on towards this next hill. They're going to be able to hold on to that top left spawn point if they want it, of course. But it does look like the other one's going to be the more advantageous spawn to hold. Team Queso with the Torque bow as well, gonna have an opportunity to get some early eliminations and hold on to this hill and get themselves a late game lead.
Pell with the Torque bow in hand, trying to find a pick, finds one there on the Demon. He's gonna back off, goes for the active. He's gonna try to find a second one here. The Lancers from Rebel are not enough to get any downs or kills in this situation. They finally get one down on Yachty, but with that damage mitigation, it is just so hard to try to clean up kills from that distance. Team Queso rotating back toward the hill. They're going to be up over 250, down to just 50 points left. Flash and dash will begin to come through. A couple of downs, not really amounting to any true retake just yet. You see them trading out 2 more players for Rebel, have been killed off. The last 2 players for Rebel trying to make a miracle happen with 27 points left on this hill. They don't want to go down 280-something to 221. That's just almost impossible to overcome. Scavzy rolls in for the up A. There's about 25 points left on the hill, 20 points now. Crack hits one shot, Crack hits a second. Beautiful job here. Scavzy will challenge the 1v1. They're in between a rock and a hard places. I believe Kardia spawned on the other side of the map. That'll be another 10 seconds if they want to keep it, but Crack is not going to stay there. They're going to start rotating toward the next, and Yachty's trying to get the mark across the map on him. Let everybody know exactly where he is. He's been called out now. See, that beautiful little bounce there.
I was going to say, that was kind of a little bit of a crucial fight. This next one is going to go over towards, I do believe, the other side. As you see, Next already revealing itself. Might be in the middle as well, but it does look like Rebel is going to be the first to the punch. They're geared up on towards it. They're going to try to get as much footing as possible. Great Lancer fire. Identivez is going to clean up that kill onto Yachty, but he needs to be careful here himself. He is a target flash grenade, but great cross still saving the day. He needs to figure out a way to continuously stay alive, and he's buying his team some time by backing up. Gets the elimination elimination. Pell's going to be the next target for Rebel. He gets taken down. Now it's up to Yachty. They're staggering the deaths. 3 players dead. They know the spawn came through on the other side of the map, and immediately they set their sights there on towards Scavzy. 3 torque foes left. He needs to go big. This is the late portion of the game. Rebel can win right here.
Rebel's trying to finish this off with these last 35 seconds. The push will come out here. Torque blows up. There is another shock out. Torque bow across, hits the quick pick there onto Kardia. Will start to answer back, trying to find another one on no. Identivez sees him in the cubby corner, goes for the little shot on, won't be able to get the splash damage kill. Scavzy will go down, but the multiple kills coming through for Team K, so they shut this down. With 20 points left on this one, they can pretty much take the lead. Pell will finish off yet another kill. Kardia will get that down in the middle of the map, trying to push up, trying to just prevent anybody from Team K, so really making a move here across the middle of the map. The longer he's alive, the harder it's going to be for them to rotate across the middle of the map toward that next hill. But here they are, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Team Queso finds themselves in a position to try to control this next hill. Demon trying to stay alive for the fragmentation grenades in his hand would have been oh so important to this next hill retake, but he will go down. And ladies and gentlemen, Team Queso 25 points away from winning map number 1.
Yep, you see 3 players immediately rotating over. Scavzy, I always talk about that top middle position. He's getting all the information over. This push is not going to come through as a surprise for Team Queso. You see flash grenades coming out. So do frags soon to follow. They're going to contest the hill. So no points being gained anymore. 10 seconds remaining for Team Queso. Pell and Scavzy both get taken out. Identivez and Cracks fall. This is a trade right down the center. Bronny's going to get taken out. Yachty the last remaining. Rebel's going to win this hill. 18 seconds remaining. You see these players coming off of respawn. It is going to come down to the wire. Both teams have 10 seconds remaining. Scavzy, he takes a bit of a shot. He wins the fight against Kardia. This could come down to the wire. Less than 5 seconds remaining. Rebel needs to go big. The hill is contested. Scavzy gets elimination. Pell gets another one as well. Crack, he needs to go big. He gets one. Crack gets taken out. 4 seconds left, and he don't get it. Less than 10 now for Team Queso. 5 seconds. It's up to Kardia. Can he be the miracle? No, he gets shut down, and so does Rebel in map number 1.
Somebody on Team Queso needs to kiss Scavzy right there. He was caught in a corner. He was getting bounced up upon. All that player needed to do was hit one shot to get the down. Scavzy lives in the cubby corner. Right now, he's going to have to survive with just getting the MVP for that map. But my God, he survives in the corner, bounces up, hits a little double bounce, comes off for the reaction, gets the second kill to finish off what was, and then leave Crack in a 1v3 situation for the map, basically. Crack had to go absolutely huge, like you said, couldn't do it. Scavzy wins the MVP for that map, and right there when they needed him most, went absolutely huge for his team. So fantastic job for him.
Yeah, fantastic indeed. And that's what you really got to do. 2 matches in a row, Colin. We're unanimous in our predictions all the way down to the chat. And 2 matches in a row. In the very first map, we are surprised. This one really coming down to the wire. Team Queso coming back. I think they trailed maybe 20, 30, maybe even up to 40 points at one point late into the game. Really showing that their composure is there. They have the mental stamina to really outlast Rebel in map number 1.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think it was very pertinent to kind of look at. If you look at the statistics of that map, I think the torque bow was a big deciding factor. I don't remember and I don't recall, and from the hash marks on my sheet of paper, there weren't that many kills by Rebel with the torque bow. They played for it more often. They had it more often. But they didn't net the kills that Queso did. Queso either off of killing a player and picking it up, or just playing for it when they had the ability to pick it up off spawn. We see Crack here get one, but there were a lot of little sneaky torques toward the middle of the map that were made by Team Queso, able to get these kills. This one right here really shuts down that retake. You have 2 Lancers in the far back with 1 player playing up, putting everybody in chunkable range, as you and Taylor like to say, and then you pick off one of those Lancers, it damn near becomes impossible for him to be able to do it.
Yeah, to me, you said it. I think after you said it, it's all coming back to me now. That torque bow was really a massive difference maker. And even though both teams kind of had I want to say maybe even equal amount of time, it was those crucial shots from Scavzy, from Pels to really put it together. And overall, Scavzy right there at the end, this replay right there, he got away with murder, taking out Kardia, taking out Identivez. And you see why he got that MVP. I'm just getting excited like I'm watching it for the first time again.
I mean, without a doubt, that's the big play of the game right there. It comes down to the wire. You can't really look at a deciding factor prior to that. You get all the way up to 296. If you're Rebel, you say, we see him coming off a respawn. You try to pressure up to get a down on him. You get a bunch of Lancer fire. Kardia, all he has to do, hit one shot on a kid that's stuck in a corner, ends up giving up the kill. Now that same kid, Scavzy, gets to bounce up a ramp right into the next fight, gets another kill. Now we go over to execution on Tomb. I'm curious, do you see that momentum is really well in behind Team Queso? Do you see that carrying them through map number 2?
Yeah, I think right now we're in a map where I would think Rebel has the chance to come out aggressive on Tomb. I think Identivez led teams, they always have some sort of trick up their sleeve. They usually can kind of lead the charge in certain areas. But right now, that type of deflation, that type of momentum shift, you got to give it over to Team Queso. And to me, one of the biggest things that puts doubt in the eyes of Rebel. That has that feeling of desperation, moves that need to be made. I'm just hoping they have that pitcher's mentality. Yeah, you might have gave up the home run, but the game isn't over yet. You could still come back, and you need to show that in your gameplay. On execution Tomb, you need to be able to kind of figure it out. We already saw it here today with Abolics versus Explosive kind of matching each other on the other side of the cover. You need to figure it out here, whether you're helping that 1v1 fight, baiting people out with the shot grenades. You need to be decisive in your plans and your strategy, and you need to execute to perfection.
This might be a weird question, but from a competitor standpoint, do you almost think there might be something to the fact that these players just one night ago with a 3-over E United, it's almost like Rebel had to blow their charge, beating them 3-0. Do you think there's anything to be said about that? Did they come out a little flat because now they play a team and like, oh, we could, if we beat a United 3-0, we can just boulder roll Team Queso and there's not a damn thing they can do about it.
I think the possibility of that actually being the case can be true, because you know how Gears players can be. You beat E United 1 week, you feel like you win the major event, even though it's just a regular season. So coming into this one, that could be a case. That could be a symptom of beating one of the most dominant teams in the history of the game. But at the same time, it goes to show they might be falling back into old habits, old tendencies that make them that inconsistent Rebel that we've seen them be in the past. But that's only one map. Only one map right now. It might be too soon to tell because execution, it's a little bit of a different game. You got to be able to flip that switch and know that it's not going to play the same either. It's just a matter of can Team Queso themselves hold on to that momentum that they built in map number 1. But this, hey, crazier things have definitely happened, but man, Tomb execution. I like how fast it plays on the initial. You give up that window of opportunity, a little bit of an inch. A team could take advantage. Like I said, crossing players out in the middle, 2 different angles. That shot grenade is going to be very, very important. You can't waste it.
Definitely very important. Now you see Bronny pushing out toward the middle. He's going to get lancered out a little bit by Demon. Crack has a little bit of answer angle on him as well. Kardia tries to push across. Scavzy will get taken down. Not going to be able to get anything just yet. Identivez will pick up the scope now, and Identivez will begin to look at the bottom of the map, trying to find somebody to pick the head off of. But the whole kill feed lights up blue very quickly and ends up getting all those kills. Round number 1 over to Rebel.
Yeah, like I said, I think Identivez led team, especially with kind of Crack towards the backside, that duo leadership coming through. They're going to be quick. They're going to be aggressive, especially, if we go back on over to map number 3, which is going to be Escalation. You can kind of see it in their gameplay. Even when they hold on to 2 hills, they don't turtle back. They always have some sort of trick, some sort of plan B up their sleeve. So now it's going to be up to Team Queso. They won by 4 points. Clutch plays by Scavzy. They're able to hold on. Can they do it again? Can they upset Rebel twice in a row?
Now we see Scavzy get absolutely bullied there in the backside of the cubby by Identivez. Identivez pushing out toward the long shot. He'll be able to pick it up once again. Shots out. Bronny knows he's down and dead. That's full red. 2 in a row quickly for the side of Rebel. They have definitely answered back in this one. They're playing much faster than they did.
I got to go ahead and ask you right now, as you can see, -7 points on Pell. Almost a true flip of the switch. That one was kind of back and forth. They're letting Team Queso slip through. Like we talked about, the torque boom not really being utilized by Rebel. Would you put Team Queso in the same, elite ranks as the United?
I mean, you have to. They just beat them.
Team Queso?
Oh, sorry. I thought I misheard you. I thought you meant Rebel. I think Team Queso has the ability to get there. They're very hungry. What they do is Team Queso, one of the things they do very well is they're able to pressure in those respawn game modes. It's what won them a lot of those escalation matches last split when we were going into the major. And look at the way that they're playing back right now. They're going to be able to continue to pressure out here. Crack is going to be inside that back cubby. Pell trying to play with those back A's, hits that cubby corner a couple of times, ends up going down. Bronny all by himself versus Identivez, Crack, and Demon. This is going to be a pretty hard situation to overcome, and it's going to be a little too much for him. 3 quickly in a row for Rebel.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is the Rebel I thought I was going to see. Right now, they're just acting too quick. They're moving too fast right now. That Team Queso, they just don't have an opportunity to breathe. They don't have an opportunity to really stop what's going on and think of a strategy on their own, because these are round after round. You're not sitting down weapons like Escalation. You're not being able to kind of turtle back like in Control. You have to stand up one of these rounds and really stop a play that is going to be in motion. You already see early on, Identivez throwing that shock inside a match, but he's going to be first to the tree. He goes down. That's going to be the play I needed to see from Team Queso. Pick out a person and target him.
Crack and Demon got to try to figure out what to do with their situation, as Crack will go down. Now it's all up to Demon, but both of them fall quite succinctly and closely to one another. That'll be 3-1. First round of the board for the side of Team Queso. That was a great round. That was a great answer. Like you said, they needed to find a quick pick. They needed to find an initial answer for the side of Rebel not going down, but so quickly. Now we come to this next round. I'll be curious to see if Rebel has the same kind of aggression, if they try to push in and force out members from Team Queso.
I'm over here trying to make sure I see if anybody's making any sneaky plays towards the top side. You already see they want to try to angle out the torque, but Yachty's going to take some damage. He goes down early, unable to be cleaned up. It does look like he might get out, but 2 downs. He has to be careful, can't get downed out. And this is where they know a player goes down in the middle. Bronny and the rest of Team Queso realize you got to take your numbers where you can. Winning 1. Pill actually gets 2 kills in towards the middle. Crack by himself. 1v4 situation. Back A after back A. Not going to be enough as they charge through and solidify that round. That's going to be 2 in a row for Team Queso, starting to be momentum of their own to try to really take down this Rebel squad.
One of my favorite plays that got shut down there in that round, Identivez picked up the shock grenade. You could hear the Baird across the map, even though we were spectating Team Queso. You could hear Baird across the map go, "This is perfect," which is him picking up a weapon utility around the map. Picked up the shock, tried to rotate it through the middle of the map to throw it down at the power weapon, and ended up getting lancered out. No matter how much smoke they threw, the mark made it impossible for him to go anywhere. He got literally just shut down by 3 lancers in the middle of the map.
Oh, they get that down on the Kardia with the sniper. Scavzy gets another massive body shot. They're going to get first blood as well. He's going to continue to keep his distance, forcing Crack out. I don't know, Yachty did get taken down, but Demon's a fantastic 1v1 player. He gets the torque bow in his hands, and he's going to start revving it. Hell takes out Idem. So the man advantage is going to go over to Team Queso. They get the frag grenades as well. Demon's just kind of chucking those torque bows, going for some splash damage on a kill, but he needs to be able to utilize the remaining torque bows along with his teammate. This is a clutch opportunity that you, with that torque bow, is actually possible.
Body shot into the backside of Demon. We'll get him about full red. They have to worry about the 2 players coming from behind. Beautiful job there by Bronny and Scavzy to finish off that 3rd player. Now it's up to Demon. Back A out on a Bronny, 2nd shot in. Bronny turns and burns, and that will be 3 rounds in a row, all knotted up here after 6 rounds, 3-3.
Mirroring rounds, like I said, building that momentum. Team Queso beginning to pull it back, and this is where I kind of wonder. We can both agree Team Queso has definitely elevated their gameplay from last split, but like I said, once you go from being one of the best teams, the most dominant teams in history, to kind of struggling against an up-and-coming team like Team Queso, that to me, that's a lot of cause of concern, especially when you start off hot 3-0 and you get 3 straight rounds answered back by Team Queso. But Crack, it's not going to scare him, full of confidence, pushing up, trying to make some plays. Players going to be spotted out left and right. Get some shots onto Scavzy. He's setting his eyes onto Yachty as well, but Scavzy gets a nice reaction shot to take out Identivez. That's why Rebel, they're going to have to push forward on this middle portion of the match to keep it mismatched. Crack's going to even that one up. 3v3 with Sniper in the hands of Team Queso. Yachty's going to go down, so that puts that important and that pressure even more onto Scavzy.
Now Scavzy's going to rotate down. Ellen Scavzy, 2v2 situation. Picks up the shock. shot out by Crack. I'm surprised Crack actually let his location be known there. Demon's trying to rotate all the way across the top of the map, trying to get behind him. Lancer in the hand of Scavzy won't hit the body shot there on Crack. Crack is rotating out toward the middle of the map. Torque starting to rev up. We'll try to get some splash damage. Won't be able to get anything just there.
Where's the hill at, though? Where is the hill to see who really has the advantage?
I believe
here?
it's in the middle of the map where Rebel's set up right now.
Oof. With that sniper, right now, you got to give the advantage over to the sniper. A demon could pop somebody, but you have to peek out in order to hit that person with the torque bow. So I almost want to give Scavzy the advantage. They need to figure it out right now. With 30 seconds left, overtime will begin. Let's say I thought he spotted out Crack there for a moment. Crack is kind of hiding in that underneath passageway, making sure not to give up any easy shots to either one of these guys.
Flash out, trying to get something to go. Scavzy pushing up to the middle cover. It's torque bow versus long shot here in the middle of the map. Body shot onto Demon. Now he's going to hop. He's going to go for the drop here. In just 5 seconds, the hill will spawn. And a second shot onto Demon. We'll have him full red. Won't be able to get the one over the top. Now the hill has spawned. He's going to turn and burn. Beautiful nade out by Pell. Gets the kill. They're going to try to push up into the hill. The reset comes through as Demon rolls in. There's another down and death. Team Queso take a lead 4-3.
4 straight rounds for Team K. So that's why I need to know where that hill was at, because you could see it. It was Team K so being proactive, setting the tone, setting the pace there. And then even in those 2 different 1v1 scenarios, he had the team game in mind. At a moment's notice, running off of that one to try to disrupt the fight. That's going to be key right here. But once again, for any of you guys newcomers to these modes, it's 1st to 6, unlike anything you've seen before.
Here's Demon here, picking up the torque bow, trying to get a quick pick off. We won't be able to find anybody on that first one. Now they're going to continue to try to move across the map. Identivez might get pushed out here as Kardia goes down. Identivez down as well. Team Queso looking to take a 5-3 lead in this match and go up onto map point. Demon last alive for his squad, bouncing around. He's going to go down turns, and Kardia will get burned. 5-3 indeed.
This is why I was bringing up, the fact that even though it was only 4 points really separating these 2 teams in map number 1, it goes to show that Rebel can go one night 3-0ing one of the hottest teams, that just showing that their inconsistency problem, they're not over them just yet. They're still ailing this team. I don't really know if it's a cause for one player maybe having a bad day, or the team overall just having a bad performance here in this one matchup. But with the opportunity still here, the game's not over yet. Rebel, you have to be able to bounce back. You have to answer the call, because going down 2-0 is a nightmare. It's something that you don't want to have to feel.
Flash out, gonna push him back. Pell will pick up those nades there in the middle of the map. Not gonna be able to do anything with him just yet. There's one out. Bronny playing to his left hand. Beautiful job walking out and doing the walk it to him and getting the kill. They answer back. One player down for the side of Rebel. Long shot in the hands of Scavzy, though. Once again, gets picked as he tries to go for the sneaky beaver shot over the corner. It's taken down. It's all up to Pell. He has 1 frag in hand. I would love to see him get at least 1 kill here and be able to use that nade to maybe split the other 2 players, but Crack plays him like a fiddle, plays back, gets the down and damage, finishes him off. 5-4. They got to win 2 more rounds to get it 1-1.
Yep. Doesn't matter how it's done, you got to stop the bleeding. And that's going to be the most important part for Rebel. If it came through sloppy or not, even though it was a 3v1 in the end, not sloppy at all, you got to be able to piece it together. Now, you have to gain momentum on your side for round number 11. No ifs, ands, or buts. Even if you do figure out a way to win this one, you got to think Team Queso is just waiting for that opportunity to switch up the strap. But when it comes to this one, 1-2-1, no real tricks coming through just yet. Kind of see both players kind of using their shot grenades. Pell's trying to make a sneaky play. He gets crossed up, but Bronny takes advantage. Catching Crack slipping with the shotgun. Not out. One player going down. Make that 2 overall. Identivez trying to be the hero. We know he's a superstar in Latin America, but in this one, it's going to be it. Team Queso go up 2-0 after a 6-4 victory over Rebel.
If our predictions are to come true at this point, PR, the side of Rebel are going to have to get into a little huddle, talk about the mistakes they've made, and clean them up for 3 straight maps. And it will start with Escalation right after this quick commercial break. Well, Jacob, it's been 2 maps, and in both of them, Rebel has decided they would come back. In the first map, they come back and end up beating the... Team Queso's come back in 2 maps back-to-back. In the first map, they come back, beat Rebel by 4 points. And in the second map, they go down 3 quick rounds, and Team Queso roars back, not only to take a lead in the map, but then to finish it off in style. We now go to Escalation for map number 3 on to Training Grounds. I wonder what was said in whatever huddle meeting, Discord, TeamSpeak, whatever you decide to use nowadays, chat that Rebel had to have.
Yeah, I feel like something needs to be said. I don't know what sort of speech. I don't know if you need to watch Remember the Titans so that you could steal the speech away from them. I honestly don't know. But Rebel in these matches, they're starting off hot. They're looking good. Like I said, the shines of what we've seen during that major. But when everything is said and done, when the dust settles, it seems like they revert back to the inconsistent selves that we kind of known them to be since the team kind of formed. Different versions of the team, even back when they had chaos. So that's what I'm always talking about. Like Rebel, they have the potential. I honestly do think their ceiling is up there with the best of them. And they, like I said, they have the potential to be one of the best teams in Gears Esports. But right now, or at least recently, even up until right now, they're just too inconsistent for me to put my money on them. And you know what? I say that after putting over 10,000 channel points on them. I feel about a lot of these teams. If you look at my Twitter lately, I'm itching to get back into the coaching game.
How much of an itch? Are we talking like neck, cheek? What are we talking about here? What are we talking here? What kind of itch?
A little bit of the neck, maybe the one in the back that you can't reach. You know, I'm little, so I have little arms sometimes.
They make bamboo
so
sticks.
There's like a spot. Yeah, but sometimes I'm sitting on my setup and the bamboo sticks outside in the living room. It's not gonna do.
You gotta ask the bear to go get it. I mean, he might tell you that you owe him something, but you can always ask.
Man, he's training me to take out reflections, but coming back, you guys know Training Grounds on Escalation. You've seen it for quite some time now, so hopefully a team as experienced as Rebel can start off this one as hot. I'm not going to put too much stock, like you said, into the first round, but being able to set the tone, go up 1-0 could be the difference maker in the end. But Team Queso off on the back of a retake from Bronny and his teammate. They're going to get 2, getting a third one as Pell takes out Demon. Kardia has to figure out a way to get the decap on this because a touch is simply not enough. He gets the decap to come through, immediately is taken down after, so the rest of the members of Rebel alive are going to feel that pressure. Crack goes in, gets the touch. He needs the break to come through. I do think they are going to get the break, but they're getting taken out. That's continuing to be staggered here. Identivez Demon needs some sort of a trade. Big elimination onto Scavzy. Now they just need Bronny and Pell to get taken out. Bronny gets Identivez out. I don't think it's going to be enough. Demon gets taken out, but they continue to prolong this round. Kardia, I'm going to slow it down. He went ahead and used that big distraction on the home hill to make B their new home hill, but it's only a matter of time here. They need to keep things going because you know Rebel is going to have to answer to Team Queso here in just a moment.
Now we see a Yachty up top trying to find anybody down in that God spot, trying to mark him out as they go to the home-to-home stretch for Team Queso up over the 160 side. You see Pell just holding court in the back cubby corner. Anybody he might be able to pick off is going to be very big, but they're going to be overloaded here. 3 players trying to get this retake here at the home hill of Rebel, and they will get it off. They won't lose a player either in this situation. It looks like they're going to have 3 kills, and Scavzy, as hard as he's running, might end up getting picked off by the time he gets down to the bottom, but he will be full red. He's going to get picked off now because they've got somebody over at the top heaven being able to answer from the opposite side. This will be a very curious position as you see them starting to overload, and they're going to go for this triple cap domination. Rebel, once again, in the first round, showing signs of life and being very strong in this one.
From almost facing defeat, having to come up clutch to winning that round, turning it on its side. That's the Rebel, like I keep saying time and time again at the beginning of the rounds. I expect to see this Rebel. The potential is there, and they've earned the right to be feared by some of these teams in that regard. But when it comes to consistency and doing this day in and day out, it's just, I'm not convinced. So after that first round, we both said it. You can't put too much stock. You can't raise too much concern on the side of Team Queso because they've come back 2 straight maps already.
Right now, bull talks are out. Team Queso's probably talking this over. I think one of the things they got to talk over is the fact that Pell at one point was just kind of hanging out in that back cubby corner. It was looking like he was trying to go for a sneak kill or a flank. And I'm not sure if that's the play in that situation. Especially if you're bringing all your forces up, you need to try to just go ahead and get into the battle, get into the fight with your teammates, trying to help out try to help everybody else out, try to get back into this, get some downs, get some kills. Double Boltox out. We come to round number 2.
Throwing smoke.
Now you see Bronny. You see the smoke come out from the side of Rebel. Crack will have the top overlook position in his hand. Gonna be able to Lancer back and forth, and anybody that rotates into either the B hill or the back U side. And it is a complete standstill right now and stalemate. Neither team really trying to be overzealous in their retake.
Where I don't want to say it's kind of chess match, but you begin to see players push, you begin to get players pull, even Demon's trying to go in. He's trying to create that mismatch and get Pell to kind of run into him. He's going to get the capture as well. So early points being scored by Rebel. Yet again, can they hold on to this one? Big flank coming through. Scavzy is going to be saved. Spotted out. Identivez taking a lot of damage, but multiple downs coming through. Chain revives on the side of Team K. So Bronny's going to be on his last down. Kardia stays and tries to finish those elimination, but it cost him his life in the end. But triple cap domination here for just a moment for Rebel. They sneak past, and this is going to be great as Demon. He's going to get these people to kind of backtrack onto him. He needs to stay alive and buy his team some time here to respawn and get back into the field.
Boltox shots over the top for Rebel. Demon trying to get downs and damage on anybody trying to push up in the home-to-home stretch. You see now the retake on the home of Team Queso. As well on the opposite side, Rebel getting their own home hill back. Kardia will be stacked up there, and I think this is a smart play. Scavzy needs to get to the overlook to not be able to get pressured out here.
Shots over the top are just so crucial. Identivez had to move towards his left. They got a bit of a cushion here before they have to start feeling that desperation, before they start feeling that pressure. Well-placed smoke grenade is going to allow them to kind of lead that charge towards the top side. Kardia not slowing down. You know, Scavzy's just a little bit weak. Going to clean him up with the down, even almost getting killed towards the backside. Big double kill coming through from Bronny. The tables have turned yet again. All that cushion definitely going out the window, especially here. If they could overextend, stop those points from being gained onto the home hill, even cracking an island. Triple cap domination sounding off for just a moment here for Team Queso. They're going to be able to get the lead as well. This late into the game is going to prove fatal for Rebel.
Crack trying to rotate up and try to get shots on. They're going to be able to get that down and kill there at the B hill. 3v3 on the map right now. 2-1 hill advantage still in favor of Team Queso. Bronny trying to get shots there onto Demon. He's going to get flashed out. Bronny, remind you, is playing on the Rebel side of the map, so he could very easily get pinched from the respawn area. He's going to get shoved all the way back into that middle cut. Those baby steps. He's going to get lancered on from the top heaven. And now the 1v1 will break out of the C hill, but a beautiful little sneak kill there by Pell, and a second shot on a Demon will continue to put the pressure on him. Back A out, finishes that off. 2-1 hill advantage, staying in favor of Queso. And it looks like Pell could do this all day based on the name of that emote.
I could do this. I just know the characters as well. Just hearing you say it, man, it just reminds me of Carlos at these events. Mexico City, Vegas. Just hearing Dom himself. I don't want to say it right now. I feel like I can't. But just hearing Dom himself live and in person is just nostalgic for me. I can't wait till we get back to these in-person events. He better be there, Carlos Ferro.
I mean, God willing, he's there. God willing, they let us have another guest star like him to be able to help us do some hosting duties, to do some interviews around the floor. I mean, especially in Mexico City, it was amazing to see just the amounts of people swarmed him that they know it's him. And it's just crazy to see the love that kind of pours out from everybody that's a fan of Gears for the one and only Dominic Santiago. 3-3 here at the bottom U hill. Retros will be out by both teams. Bronny will be up top. Smoke out. Bronny back A from absolute. I mean, he hit him with an entire condo right there to get that kill.
And with a timeshare. What I like about Bronny and the rest of the squad, no matter how they're doing in the match, if they're confident to get a kill, they will chase down that elimination. Just like you see here, 3 players trying to get the angles. Kardia does get taken out, but it's like shooting fish to bird. They're just trapped in there right now. Flash grenades going in, 2 players going down around the backside, forced to get revives. It does look like they're going to try to finally get these eliminations to come through. Yachty goes down again. Bronny's able to get one. That's a big kill for Bronny. So at least trade that one out. 3 players dead on the side of Team K. So this is going to be a great opportunity for them to not only get this neutral hill, but start to build up, set up, get some points under their belt, because they're much needed points for Rebel.
See Pell. Once again, Pell has been pretty much a sneaky beaver all game long. He has really not tried to put himself in any position to get killed off in any way, shape, or form. Keeps going for these little sneak kills, and it ends up, yes, he's alive, but I don't know what kind of positioning you gain from it, and I don't really know what momentum you're gaining from it for your squad either. Demon's going to be stacked up here against him. They need to find an early pick. Nobody, I think, has a smoke for the side of Queso. It's 2 flashes on the back ledge. They're going to get 1 stun here maybe on the Demon. They don't even get the stun. They're going to pick him up. They're going to go for the team revives, but triple Lancers might just be too much to overcome for anybody.
Dentist coming in with the shotgun. He gets cleaned up. Probably should have played it a little bit more safe, but Bronny finally taken down in the end. Rebel got a 20-point lead, give or take, here in this next round. It's going to be round number 3. And you can already see the players from Team Queso spawning up. They're rotating over towards that overlook here. They're just trying to spread out the defense of Rebel. This is Rebel. You know them. They're not going to turtle down. They're not going to settle on one hill. They're going to get ready to either push forward and across or backtrack and defend. It does look like the defense is going to be the key. 3 players just mowed down by Kardia, Crack, and the rest of Rebel. That's going to be a huge defensive stop, and with that 4th player dead, it could be the end of this round.
Rebel looking to take a 2-1 lead here in map number 3. They've got to start having the answers. They got to learn how to close these maps out against Team Queso. All the emoting in the world is not going to help you in the situation if you find yourself losing. I'm pretty sure we might be able to make a montage of all the times it was an emote just before something terrible happens. Is that how it's said? Is that what you do just before tragedy strikes? I don't know what the meme is.
I was like pictures 10, or it's like moments before tragedy. I think you said it right. Yeah. Moments before tragedy strikes. Is that it? Is that the moment?
Dude, I am an old white man. Do you expect me to know memes from you young kids?
You know, that's a good point.
You damn whippersnappers out here. All right.
Yeah. I would say that's actually a good point, but I feel like you have Twitter, you stream. I feel like you see all the memes all the same as the rest of us.
I get on the tweet every now and again.
I get on the Bird app. Send my tweets to the sky.
I don't know what it's meant for, other than yelling into the void most of the time, but I do it. By the way, shout out to some of the absolute love of the channel being shown over to Rebel right now. Like, I love whenever chat turns into just a complete love fest for one squad or the other. Not saying that it always sets up good, because then that squad loses. Like, the 3 people in the chat were like, I told you so.
But they just hold it on. They're staying faithful. Yachty goes down. Great teamwork. Bait and switch coming out from these members of Rebel. Once again, getting that bait and switch off, but not coming through in time. Bronny again. Bronny makes it happen again. Another double kill in this series. This man has been lighting up the kill feed on those exchanges, and that's exactly what you want when you pick up a player like Bronny. When you pick up a player to kind of fill in the gaps that your team needs, you want a player that can do a little bit of everything. Play the ejector role and make the big plays when needed. Now they have to hold on, buy some time defensively. Nobody's really attacking that neutral. Scavzy, or I believe Pell, actually is going to be the only one that has the opportunity to. Multiple players from Team Queso are going down. Make that 3 total as Scavzy, Yachty, and Bronny all fall. It's going to be up to Pell here to buy time. The cap is just bonus.
The cap is indeed just bonus here, but you get the double cap off for Team Queso. You're trying to continue to build this lead to force out the members of Rebel. Pell has to pull back to his side of the map. They don't really have the positioning to be able to stop them from getting the 2-1 hill advantage back in their favor. They need to be able to find a kill, but Scavzy pushing up, I mean, just flying at that first player. I think it might have been a good distraction to keep his head out and be able to get the shots onto him. Here comes a flash over the top onto Demon. Won't be able to get that stun, continuing to fly across the map. The Lancer Fire, picture perfect from Demon. They get 2 downs here. Yachty tries to rotate, gets 1. Now Identivez pulls back. Pell has got Identivez on the opposite side. They need to be able to squish him very quickly. They got to use the pincer movement, but they're not going to be able to do it quick enough. They will finally get the kills here to keep solidifying their home hill, and Rebel will hold on into this. They will be well within their rights with a 2-1 hill advantage late into the mid-goings of this map to try to get up over that 200-point marker first.
Still plenty of time here in this match for Team Queso to get the information that they need and figure out a way to make a last-second push. I call it a last-second push because if you take too long, you have to make sure you team wipe them, get them off of respawn, and make sure they don't trickle down over towards that neutral, because the longer they take, like I said, you're going to have one good attempt to come through. If you go ahead and force it, you may have one attempt and then a sloppy attempt afterwards, but it does look like with the amount of time Team Queso is taking. They're kind of narrowing it down to one final attempt where they absolutely need the eliminations. Scavzy hops over. He goes down early. Crack's doing what he can. He's trying to clean up those eliminations. Even a team down coming through. The eliminations are finally going to be cleaned up. 2 players dead. That final hill capture is going to be the nail in the coffin for Rebel. They're going to go up 3-1 over Team Queso before the half.
Dominant lead here, and this is what I kind of thought coming into this. I really thought we were coming into this map with a 2-0 lead for Rebel, because the Rebels still, this is right back to their bread and butter. They just came off of a very hot split and a fantastic major in their favor, playing on all Escalation. So I really saw Escalation map number 3 as kind of a position for Rebel to close it out if they did have that kind of a lead, if they did have that big lead up over the side of Team Queso. But now they just need to win it to start their campaign back into this one, trying to get it to be 2-1 so they can go to the control. Right now, they need to win 2 more rounds, and they need to not drop this second half ball to the side of Team Queso as the hills flip, where E hill go from the B hill from the range down to that U, and the home hills will go from the Monument and the BB Depot up to the Theater and House of Sovereign spawn.
I will say, in the confidence right now from Team Queso, they haven't put a big weapon down. 3-1 into the half. This is that swing round. This is going to be a major must-win round for Team Queso. You don't want to feel that pressure of being down 4-1. Scavzy falls. Both Bronny and Yachty get taken out as well. 3 players dead off of that initial. Pell's doing what he can to kind of keep this one going. He overextends the other side of the map, gets the decap and the capture as well. So Rebel is going to have to send some personnel to deal with him. Demon does get taken out. Identivez is going to be next. He's going to continue to hold on and waste the necessary time. So he's kind of hoping the rest of his team make the correct moves.
And you see now Identivez has the down. He didn't even... Oh, he didn't decap because he knew his teammate was coming off a respawn. I was like, my man was off the scene. Like, he waited for the half the hill to decap and then just left.
This one really does come down to the wire, though. Those seconds are going to be the difference. They still haven't decapped it either. Yeah, another hill is being triple cap dominated. Rebel must win this fight. Yachty does go down. I do believe that is going to be enough. He does get taken out. Bronny sneaks a kill onto Crack, but multiple trades going back and forth. It's going to be Scavzy and Bronny falling, leaving Pell by himself again. Again, this man's having to buy some time.
I was like, I'm just going to hang out here on the backside of the U. Demon's going to continue to snub out. A second player comes into the area. Pell was actually had to sit there and watch Demon cap that hill because of the fact that he had the meat shield up in front of him. Now the extra players from Team Queso off of respawn trying to rotate into the area. Bronny will get down here to the bottom side, try to push up into this next fight as he comes through across where that B hill is. See them just making sure they mark out players, make sure that they know where everybody is. Demon's not going to be able to do anything from that overlook unless somebody pokes their head out. He doesn't have the ability to lance her out. Identivez will have that Boltok here in the backside of that hall, and that's going to be unbelievably hard to fight against, especially if he gets off that active and he hits anybody in the head. That'll damn near set you down in 1 shot, much less 2.
Scavzy right now is being a distraction, but that's just enough. Rotation's still going to come through regardless. Kardia is going to make it there in time towards those steps, but Identivez getting pushed deep into spawn. He gets taken out, and I talked about Kardia making it to the steps. He gets taken out as well. Bronny, yet again, how many times am I going to say this? He gets a double kill. He gets a triple kill. Can this man be stopped at all? As Team Queso's looking to make these last-ditch efforts, they need the team wipe, but I do think that was going to be enough. They get the team wipe. They're going for that triple cap domination, but he's not going to waste no time getting that hill. They know they need to fight off what could be multiple instances of players spawning up, getting right back into the field. Rebel right now needs trades. They desperately need these trades to come through. Multiple eliminations not going that way, though. Crack on Identivez both fall. Another player's already down. Demon gets traded out. Nobody's there to get the triple cap domination, but late into this one, you gotta think Team Queso have done enough.
Yeah, they're going to come off a respawn again, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Yachty is going to give him a little wave, a little sup, a little head nod there. Identivez is going to get killed 1 more time, and that will spell the end of that round. That will be 3-2. Team Queso answers back in the final 15 seconds of the round, I believe, is when they shut it down and got triple decaps everywhere. And then just accumulated everything. What do you see? What do you see, brother?
20 kills for Bronny right now in 5 rounds, 27 and 12. I don't know what the strat is right now for Team Queso, but all I know is, Bronny, what do you want to do? That's what I'm saying. What do you want to do? What weapon do you want? Where do you want to go? What flash do you need? Do you need a smoke? Just answer me, boy.
You want your shoes shined? Would you like?
I'll do it.
Would you like somebody to carry your gym bag? I will. I got that you as well. Do you need a driver? You trying to go to the corner store? I will run there with no shoes on.
Don't worry. I'll wrap up your gear when you're done.
That's about it. I'm telling you, I will make sure that you don't have to worry about anything. Now you see Bronny trying to push across the backside of the map. He's going to get lancered on. And for anybody out there that doubts how good a ROM player can be, must have never seen Toy Soldier in his prime.
Right, Matt, that's what I love. That's the confidence, though, seeping through as well. These players into their character selection as well. You see Dyslexic not afraid to choose those type of characters. Demon does go down, though. Crack falls as well. 2 players dead. Kardia's doing everything he can. This neutral hill is important. Triple cap domination. It's going to be all to Kardia here for a moment. He gets taken down, and just like that, Team Queso have tied it up.
2 more rounds for Team Queso to try to get a 3-0 victory over Rebel. And I'm a bit on the shaky side here. I really don't know what to see out of this. This is just unbelievable the way that they've come back into it. You're gonna see the retros get upgraded, I believe. 60-second retro on the side of Team Queso. They're gonna let Rebel place the big power weapon. They want to let him make the mistake. They want to let them see what they could do with this, but it looks like Rebel is gonna go over to their utility grenade. I don't think they go to the 60-second retro. I think they're gonna go up to the incendiaries here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I gotta agree with you right there. So that gives Team Queso at least a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of options when it comes to the weapon selection, when it comes down to that final round. But I will say, on the side of Rebel, dropping those instants down that early, you have to put it down. This goes to a round number 9. You're going to be the team that places that big weapon.
Bronny pushing it back to the cross side. Flash out. The incendiary by Identivez has already been thrown due to the pressure they have put out here in the early goings of this. Demon is backing up. Identivez has been picked off. But a beautiful little retake there. Meanwhile, Pell will find one of his own. So 2 dead for the side of Rebel. Only 1 for the side of Team Queso. Bronny just pressuring back off against Demon.
Enemy spotted.
Multiple decaps and recaps coming through for both teams. These players from Rebel or from Team Queso, though, are still fighting on the Rebel home hill. 2 down. They're going to be able to get cleaned up and killed here momentarily.
Definitely a good opening strategy for Team Queso. I won't even lie, but that shot grenade really made a difference. Rebel trying to go for a Mr. Krabs. Triple cap domination. Big shots being fired off. Yachty's going to be denied entry into that hill. And Rebel have finally gone on map point. 1 step away from taking their first map in the series.
I think what we have to take into account there is Rebel didn't try to match Team Queso's aggression. You notice Rebel just backed off. They let Team Queso play up into the hill. They let Team Queso onto their side of the map. Instead of trying to match them punch for punch in that round, all Rebel did was back off, Lancer out, and use L triggers. I mean, that was just beautiful letting... That's one of the things that we've talked about with other squads. This is the first time I've really seen it come back to bite Team Queso in the butt. Their over-aggression right there just... It caused them to be killed because they flew across the map. Next thing you know, they had nothing to do other than get lancered out and taken down. Meanwhile, Team Queso has to try to win a long shot and a round without a shot.
That almost makes me believe they don't want instants at all. They want that retro. They're going to use their lock for the next round, but they have to make it there. That's going to be the key. They have to make it past this round down. What could be a massive weapon placement in that shock. Yachty goes down early, but it's just going to be a down. Instantly revived back into the battlefield. Crack gets down twice. He has no extra downs to give up. Rel plays flash grenade. Bronny's going to get first blood onto Identivez. Repeating back A's. Gets 2 with a little bit of help. Moving forward, Team Queso want this round. They want to go around number 9. They want the 3-0 shutout.
You see them trying to get position here over the E-Hill. Demon just trying to bounce around, making a miracle happen, trying to buy time for his team. Yachty, I think, was a little upset right there. He meleeed his teammate. He said, hey, man, get off me. All right, get off me. I don't like the fact that you're right here. Pell has the scope in hand, trying to find anybody around the map that he might be able to pick off. He's in top side. I think you need to get him marked out because, yes, while he has the... Oh, nobody... I was going to say, is nobody here to have his back? Are they just going to give this up? But no, they get the kill over at their home. They're going to have the 2-to-1 hill advantage, and the 3 players from Rebel are going to have to come off a respawn and go for a retake. Good little body shot there by Pell. That's just a check shot at this point.
Yep. That pre-fire down, it's just so important. I like that angle, too. Instead of a shotgun shot, he's making sure Identivez. Oh, that's big! That's big! Kardia from downtown, able to not only get that player from the overlook, but it's that sniper player as well in Pell. Now they're threatening for the hill, but Crack's able to take out Scavzy. Identivez takes out Bronny on that hill. That's going to be a real difference maker. Luckily, there's about 20 seconds of advantage for Team K, so that's a crucial time. They need to get the information. They need to figure out where they're going to push and where Rebel is set up.
Demon will be in the heavens still, just trying to find anybody get lurking that he might be able to pick off. All 4 players from Team Queso back alive in this one. Crack with a body shot there. Will throw out 1. He's got 3 more shots. Now only 2. 2 bodies, though, and a second shot will get the down there onto Pell. They're continuing to pressure onto Crack. The spin, the 360 didn't hit a no-scope after it, so can't necessarily put a bunch of X's in it. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, Identivez, I was about to say, I feel like he has this fight. Makes a team kill happen. Rebel, they have the 2 hills right now. They're going to have the lead as well. Pell's doing what he can from his spawn. He needs to get the break, but Kardia's not letting that one go for free. This could become crucial late in the game. 1 hill wins it. Oh, we need a triple neutralization to come out from TQ if they're going to keep this one going. It looks like the 3-0 is slipping through their fingers, and Cap's coming through on the other side of the map. Nobody's going to be able to clean that one up. This could turn fatal in the end. Nobody close by. Rebel will be able to hold on to the round, hold on to the map, and win their first one, but still trail 2-1 in the series.
Beautiful job there by Rebel answering back. We talked about it. Their campaign had to start here on Escalation, and they get that into their hands and under their belt, even with Bronny getting 22 kills. But I believe if I saw it, 2 different players from Rebel had 24 downs apiece. Or was that 24 assists apiece? My brain, my body.
It might have been 24 assists. I don't think there's downs in Escalation. So I
mean, nonetheless, that's still impressive.
That's still massive. That's
48 kills.
I was say 48 downs and assists that was held by the team. To me, that's just impressive. That shows that they're not necessarily going in for the eliminations. They're not going in for the one shots. They're playing the full team game. And Rebel, they absolutely needed that win right there to kind of get some sort of momentum. It wasn't in the dominating fashion that I was kind of hoping for, but a win's a win to keep themselves alive.
A win is a win indeed, and now we go back over to Control. It will be training grounds once again, so I hope these teams got real comfy with the hallways, real comfy with the way they need to play these sight lines and these positions, because Rebel ends up winning it 5-3 there on Escalation. Now they got to try to win another one here on Control. We will stay on the same map, though, and Bronny, if he has any kind of word, they are going to finish us off 3-1 because he went bonkers. I mean, like, Raisin Bran could not, like Raisin Bran wakes people up in the morning. He put everybody to sleep. Put everybody to bed.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. I know I sing a lot on this show. I
would
feel
say,
like I was
you know what the next line of that is, don't you?
I want to say yes, but I know I don't know it, so let me not lie.
Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bronny right now in that Team Queso jersey, looking a little cute, you know what I'm saying? Looking a little snappy because he's been putting everybody on skates, baby.
And look at that. It's an example after example. A 3-piece right there from he just can't be stopped. He just can't be stopped on an individual basis. So you just have to really be careful if you're looking to really stop them. Overall, you have to be careful now if you're Team Queso. You have woken the beast that are Rebel. It's about, can they piece it together? They're finally on the board. They go back to training grounds yet again. Can they repeat victory?
I mean, they're going to have to try, certainly. They're going to have to go there to training grounds and see if they can get a victory in this map number 4. It will be control on training grounds. And we saw earlier what it's like if you lose an initial or if you lose a hill early, how much you can kind of get just smothered in those situations. I think what we need to be careful of is getting ahead of ourselves. Rebel came out hot in map 1, gets come back on. They come out hot in map 2, get come back on. Map 3, Team Queso fights back through Hell's Half Acre, ends up getting shut down there. I need to see Rebel really not just come out and have a good initial. I want to see Rebel come out and kind of get up over 140, 150 even, and kind of hold Team Queso back. Make this more about Team Queso having to climb the mountain rather than just sneak in through the side door. I really need to see, if I want to believe there's going to be a map number 5 between these two teams, it needs to be a very dominant performance out of Rebel for not just an initial, for a good 3-4 minutes of the map. I get by myself, how many kills can I go out there, and what kind of highlight reel play I can make. I need to see Queso. I want to see them continue to be settled up here, play for one another, continue to do the things that were winning them those first 2 maps.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying it's playing a little different. You see the 1v1 down low, that position, even though there's no hill down there, that's where that drop shot is going to be at. But Kardia, they're trying to overstack that top side of the map. Bronny continuing his domination from map number 1, getting that elimination onto Identivez. But both of those players fall. Early points are going to be settled in. Rebel is going to be able to strike first, and they get the drop shot as well. That's going to be crucial.
Well, here we go. Pell will be caught out here just below the Heaven area. Rebel is definitely controlling the overlook where they can settle up on that hill, continue to garner as many points as they want. And with that kill on Pell, I really love that one. What they're trying to do here is set up for that next rotation, because you can see they're getting kills toward the middle of the map now. They're trying to pressure out Yachty. They get that kill, I will not be surprised to see them fly across over to the next Heaven. Team Queso's trying to set up for the initial on the next hill. Yachty's been called out at the bottom of the baby steps. Kardia will go down. Demon's right there with him. And now Demon might have to use this other drop shot to try to get a kill. Fires it out. The roll comes, but Pell, stuck between 2 different players, won't be able to go anywhere and get anything done in that situation. He goes down. 5 seconds left on the last hill. It's time to rotate over. Let's see what they can do with this next rotation.
Bronny gets that fresh spawn on towards the hills. He's not going to waste any time. He's going to be able to contest Kardia here due to that spawn to try to solidify this spawn point on this side of the map. While the rest of his team, they're just trying to hold that high ground. Even though the hill isn't there just yet, it's about battling for those inches and making sure every fight counts. Big flanks coming through. Identivez and a Crack working together to solidify those eliminations, but they're not there to get the down. But no, Crack gets a crucial elimination, goes for the revive, looks to stay alive there in the end as the difference maker comes in. Nice flank coming through. Rebel's doing a good job of controlling those spawns on that side, forcing them to come down this alleyway. That's going to be a real test right now for Team Queso if they look to break this hill, is funneling down that hallway. You need a good combination of flashes and smokes.
Yeah, definitely. You need a lot. Need people to use those utility grenades very quickly and to the best of their ability. Here comes the smoke up to the top of the Heaven to try to block out that Lancer lane. Yachty's going to try to push up this back hill now, down by about getting doubled up in the points department, actually, and logistically. Crack is going to continue to rotate back. The flank comes out. Pell tried to find one. He's actually going to get killed by Demon. Now they're going to push back against the tide. There's going to be 2 players going for the quick team revives out. Demon will finally get cleaned up. Only 1 player died, but 2 players down. 4K, so going for the quick revives off. That's a 3rd down and out there on to Bronny, and now Crack. He's going to finish off Yachty. 1 last player in the hill in the area. That will continue to net them points toward the middle of this round. Beautiful frag grenades there in the hand of Pell, and they're going to use those to try to set up. But look at the positioning out of Demon. Coming off of the Heaven. Beautiful down. He blows himself up, though. I'm not actually mad at that. There's going to be a frag grenade on the ground for them to be able to pick up if they want to rotate over there. But I am not mad for the suicide in that situation.
Not at all. You see Rebel here. They're going to have to fight inch by inch. Demon takes a ton of damage. That's great Lancer fire on the same page right now. Team Queso with the reaction shots, catching them off in the corner. Trades of eliminations coming through, but overall the dust is settled, and it's going to be Rebel who end up with the man advantage. Might have spoke too soon, though. Pell gets that final trade onto Identivez, but like I said, that man advantage blocking him from the hill while maintaining the staggered of the death. Smart plays by Demon there. That wasn't him humping him. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Maybe that might have been the bonus in the end, just like when you win that weapon. But he's making sure that they don't have all 4 players up at every single moment. So the next hill right now, Colin, that's going to go on over towards that drop shot. So these teams need to decide it's 25 seconds worth fighting over the next rotation.
Here's Scavzy trying to get the shot around that cubby corner. They're going to get triple lancered out. Now they push up Scavzy, last alive for his team in the area, but he was already down around crawling. A 30-point differential thus far for Rebel. You see Pell trying to push up onto Identivez up here. Goes for the shot over the cover, but the extra man in the area will help finish that kill off. Next hill will be right here in the middle. Crack is going to try to rotate right across the back hallway to get shots on both sides of that hill to stop anybody from being able to sit in it without having to worry about getting peppered up. Nobody in the area for that next hill. Smoke out. Pell's not going to get cleaned up. Here comes Bronny to the back side of the cubby corner. He's going to push into the back side of the hill. 2 players there now. Yachty pushes up, trying to get the revive up. There's 2 of them. They're going to get both of the players alive. They're going to try to pressure Demon off this back hallway. Shot over the cover, though. Identivez cleans one. Now the hop, the drop, the cleanup comes through. Call him Minute Maid, because man is not allowing anybody to sit without getting a little bit of that extra refreshment courtesy of Identivez.
That drop shot pickup, if used right by Identivez. The only thing right now is Identivez has a tendency with both the drop shot and the boom shot to kind of just shoot those things out like candy on Halloween. He's like he has enough, and that's exact prime example, literally showing exactly what I mean. If I'm Rebel, I almost don't want that drop shot in his hands, but he kind of backed him off, bought his team some time, but not as much as the elimination would if it did come through. With 30 seconds left, I asked that same question. Is it worth fighting over for Team K? So the longer this one goes, you can't keep giving these ones away. Scavzy, Bronny, both of those players will fall. The way this one's going, Rebel, it looks like they might force a game number 5.
I mean, they're well on their way. They're already up over 170. You see Yachty picking off 1 kill down to just 14 seconds. That mid hill right there is going to rotate here very shortly, and Rebel is already set up in a position to where they're going to be able to sit back, relax, kick their feet up, and continue to garner points in this matchup. You see them pushing all the way into the spawn. Rebel has got a few players marked out, but not really enough damage being placed onto anybody to make them but so worried. 2 L triggers come out, but Bronny gets up-aid. I mean, Identivez no fear. He knew he had Demon with him. Demon takes the first 2 shots, then Identivez slides right up in there and gets the kill to help secure this next hill. They need to get a kill here on Kardia here very quickly. You see them trying to double bounce in. Beautiful job by Pell. They will get into the hill. Identivez will be coming from the 6 o'clock. They're going to call him out. Here comes the double flank, though. Make sure that you don't lose either player in this situation. Beautiful shots by Identivez. Almost could have been a team kill right there.
That was actually great footwork by Pell to kind of bait out that revive, knowing Identivez was looking for that cheeky shot. And he took very minimal damage there on that exchange, which kind of leaves Queso to get this hill. Great play by Crack there to at least find the down onto Bronny. This 2v2 is going to continue with some great revives being picked up, making it 3v3 for a short moment. Pell goes down, though, so the numbers game is going over to Rebel as 3 players get eliminated at one point or another, forcing Bronny to spawn outward. And not only Bronny, but the entire team as well. So they are able to fight back Rebel and get that hill, which leaves 30 seconds on that clock. They're going to be able to eclipse the 200-point mark with uncontested time.
Do you believe you have to pressure that hill a little bit more, especially with the respawn of the drop in Demon's hands? Try to get him to use one of them, try to get him to force it out of his hands, or do you just rotate to the next one? Because now he's going to have drops to use to get this next hill.
Craig has frags. Yeah, no, I do think you need to get those drop shots out of play if you're looking to waste them. But right now, they wasted too much time. Now is not the time to go for those drop shots. Right now, they're just trying to stagger the deaths. They talk about that money hill. That's one way to break such a massive hill. Now I'm looking for those grenades to come through from Crack. There it goes. Flash is going out, but where are the frags? Finally, I do think I heard one of them go out. Nothing to be cleaned up just yet. Nothing being netted for those frags. Crack even goes down. Identivez falls as well. Nobody being able to clean up the eliminations just yet, but it's Demon. Demon gets 2, cleans up Pell, cleans up Scavzy. He's continuing to try to dominate. He finally goes down, but Crack is there to save the day. But Yachty has the last laugh. This hill will be won by Team Queso.
You see Queso still holding court here. You see Yachty just trying to hold back, smokes out. He's going to throw another one, bouncing around. They can't mark him really because of where he is, but they can continue to keep this hill decapped. Identivez is going to see the shots and the pellets come through. That's one of the dangers of what they did. They tried to sneak up into those cubby corners, but the tracer rounds from the Nasher were giving away their positions. Now Kardia can pull up, finish off these last 2 kills, and they have flipped the script. Look at how they have forced Team Queso to spawn down the back hallway. Rebel spawned over at the U side. They're going to be able to roll back into this fight very quickly. All 4 players are lined up, and they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're going to be like shooting fish in a barrel, and if you put salmon in clothes and take pictures, it's shooting fish in a barrel, baby.
I see you always catch me off guard sometimes with what you say, but once again, Demon is going to net himself a drop shot. That's going to be important. You know, the next hill is going to rotate on over towards you. We're going to have a reset in all the hills that we've seen so far, and both of these teams have to know that's coming. Early advantage does look like it's going over to Team K, so they have the numbers over there, but drop shot towards the back line. Double kill for Demon. He's looking to clean it up. He's going for 3 big shots being fired off. He's going to get it cleaned up along with the help of Identivez. Time and time again, it's proven that they have the weapons in mind. They're playing the complete control game right now as they pick up the next set of frag grenades as well. Crack has an opportunity to put this game under wraps.
I'm not going to lie to you. The way Demon up-A'd the corner, reloading the drop, and then immediately fired as he came, like, standing to try to walk in toward that next hill right there at the U. I have a big buddy named Big Belly Bubba, and that man at a buffet, one of his famous lines is he says, let me get this. And that's what he said. He said, let me just reload this drop shot, let me get this real quick. Got that double, helped secure the triple. All 4 players of Rebel alive, is still around the hill, less than 30 seconds to go for them to win this one as they stay in the hill, continue to rack up the points toward the 300-point marker. 133 is all Team Queso has been able to muster. They need to get into the hill. They need to get breaks to try to get it to a next hill, but down under 9 seconds. Nobody gets into the hill. Nobody breaks it. A little knife trick coming out from Kardia. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-2, all tied up. We have seen every possible situation tonight. 5 maps, then 4. Now we are going right back to a map number 5 to solidify our game number 3 between Rebel and Team Queso. Crack said, "Oy vey, my papi." He had to lean back on that one.
That's just exactly what you want to see if you're a Rebel fan. But coming up, game number 5, the conclusion of a heavyweight matchup between Rebel and Team Queso.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports. We are in the heat of a battle here on day number 2 of this week, where Rebel and Team Queso, they said, we can't settle this in 3 maps. Hell, we can't even settle this thing in 4. That's all. Let's just figure out who's better in a 5-map series by going to map number 5. I wish they had told us this. I'd have put 2-2 on the scoreboard a long time ago and just took us to that last execution, PR.
I would have definitely popped me an extra Ghost Gamer for the energy if I knew we were going to the distance.
Was that cheap? Was that a cheap plug? Was that a cheap plug?
No, a cheap plug is saying you can use code PR for 20% off your next order. But that is the cheap plug that we're talking about. And that right there is a cheeky kill from Demon. That's a big play. I know Ink said it in chat. It is Demon time, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tie game between these 2 teams. And Canals execution. I haven't got a chance to cast this one just yet, Colin. So what am I in store for?
You're in store for a little disappointment, just like I'm pretty sure my boy Guy Blaze is in store for a little disappointment, because there's no more double snipes, PR.
I'm semi-okay with that.
I mean, I'm okay with it because I was so used to getting my head cracked off.
Yeah, especially if you're that third spawn player, you know, just let's think Gears 1 where you have your spawn set out, because I know it's not exactly the same, but if you're in that third spawn player and you're going up against that sniper high side, whether if it's, you know, a player like Hudson's, Mental, or even Blaze, you have to be very, very careful what route you take, because they're going to be looking high side on you and they're going to pop that dome. They're going to command respect. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe we don't, because I was never the sniper of my team. I didn't get that fun, Colin.
I mean, I was going to say, you've played enough Canals with me in ranked. You know, as soon as we roll out of spawn, the first words out of my mouth are, I'm going back connector. So I'm used to, I mean, this head has been shot off more times than I can count. That's why it's so ugly all the time. If I hadn't have lost it about 500 billion times on this map, I might be a little bit prettier. But right now, the prettiest thing on the planet is the fact that these teams are putting it all on the line coming into this last map, this last matchup. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like there might have been a phone call made where he got everybody onto a conference call, and Ink was like, look, I've been getting shit from PR all night. All night. Y'all bet not lose this game for me, or we all fighting. I don't know when, I don't know where, but we fighting.
It's funny, too, because I'm over here predicting Rebel to win. I'm like, and you were saying, Ink, I can't wait to get hit with that same thing back, whether it's in chat or on Twitter. He's going to at me and be like, and you were saying? I'm just like,
you were saying, PR? I'm sorry, sir. What was it that you wanted to let me know? You wanted to inform me of?
You got a great man in Identivez. That's it. That's all I wanted to say throughout the course of this match.
What
but,
a man,
you know
what a man, what a mighty, mighty good man. Is that what you're saying?
Over into the fat lady sings, and a mighty good man indeed. Rebel versus Team Queso. I'm pleasantly surprised in this one. I thought Rebel was going to take this series. So for Team Queso, and not only Team Queso, but Bronny specifically, to really put up the fight and to put up the show that they have is impressive. Like I said, there's one of the teams from last bit till now that has really improved, and it comes through adding Bronny to their roster. Turn into supporters in the end. Those same people, just like you guys at home, are waiting for this game number 5 to break through. And already we got Bronny going in and getting that torque boat out.
Man.
Bronny is leading the charge in this series.
Bronny ran up in there and just stole that torque bow. And almost pegs Kardia off the back. Did that bounce off of Kardia? Did you see how that flight pad went up?
I did not see it, but I've seen some crazy
I need a
things
clip
happen.
of that. Please clip that.
I want to see it. I know it doesn't necessarily work the same, but I want to see some of those lob throws that we've seen back in Gears 1. The mechanics aren't there, so you can't necessarily do it, but I want to see it. I want to see somebody get chased with the torque bow. You kind of shoot it out at your feet, get the splash damage, turn and burn, but this is going to slow down just a little bit. DQ did get that torque bow, but they lose a man because of it. So I do think on Canals, a map like this, things will slow down. That hill will present itself a few times compared to the other maps.
So Bronny right here is just kind of poking back and forth. He's trying to find some kind of opening to shoot this torque bow out, find anybody he can pick off, because right now in a disadvantage on execution, it's going to be horrifyingly hard to get back in a position where you can get to that next hill and you can see them start to push up and try to get into that spot where they might be able to pick somebody off. Torque at the corner is going to make sure nobody's sitting there secret manning. Now they continue to rotate around. Frags being thrown in. No damage done to Bronny, but the second one finds Scavzy, and that will be a big kill and make it 4v1. All that's left is to finish Bronny off in this one. Look at the conga line of Rebel play. I wish to God they had taken this as 1v1s. The way they were set up.
Back A.
I really wish they had just been like, all right, you can go. You can go. All right, your turn.
Number 5. And it already shown. Early on, they go in, they try to get the torque, but they get it out, but they lose a player because of it. And it shows on the close quarter maps, like the positions up top on Canals, those grenades will prove lethal. Even though he didn't get a multi-kill, that one was enough to really separate these players, create more of a disadvantage than ever before. So going into this one, you see Crack's going to stop, try to get that shock. It is going to go out. Smoke's being traded off back and forth, along with some flashes, but a great spot on the Bronny from Demon early on. That kind of showed that, hey, they're not pushing up, they're not getting aggressive. We can reposition and start the cross.
Now we see Bronny trying to stack up here. Mark's out on the multiple players. Rebel trying to push in toward that bottom torque area. Here comes the reload out. Kardia will be marked. I think they need to worry about the player coming up on the mid-bridge, though. That's going to be Crack trying to create a little bit of havoc there. He rotates out after getting it down, but look at the way that they've pinched out Pell. They get the kill on him. Answer back 3v3 on the map officially with the torque bow in the hands of Kardia, trying to find anybody. He's going to throw the splash damage on Yachty. One more shot here. Could find a kill, but Yachty gets picked. Yachty gets picked. My goodness gracious, good God almighty.
That's said to be a massive difference maker. Well played splash, but they got to be careful. Only Pell gets stunned. Didn't even stun Bronny. He holds his ground, breaking it down to a 2v2 scenario here. Crack goes for that Voltok pistol, takes a bunch of damage. Kardia right now with that active torque, hops over the cover. Bronny, he almost escapes and he gets killed by the splash damage. This is one wild ride of a round, and that's where you see Rebel. They're gonna back up. They know they just need to play slow. They need to play steady, going for more splash damage. Pell bouncing around. No more torque bows. I don't think, maybe one at the most, but this is where they're gonna wait, slow things down, wait for that overtime to appear, and force Pell to come up clutch.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pell is going to try his best to stay alive in this situation. We're going to see what he can do, trying to shoot out down to the bottom. That hill will spawn in 10 seconds. This is the beauty of Execution 2.0. There ain't going to be no stalemates. You ain't going to be able to sit back and make your opponent play into you, because there's that hill, and if they have the positioning, they can do exactly what they just did to Pell there. 2-0. Rebel is on fire.
You know, I'm glad I bet on them. I was never talking anything, you know what I mean? I believed in them the whole time. I knew exactly what they're made of, especially on these execution-style maps. Like I said, I know Identivez can kind of lead the charge, set the tone. He's not somebody, he kind of reminds me of Blaze even, to where Blaze tells you he's either going to win and lose a match, doing exactly what he wants to do, making the plays he wants to make as a team. And that's where I kind of get that feel from Rebel. They never sit idly by and let things go. As Demon throws that flash, gets the kill over the top onto Bronny. Peekaboo! As he takes him out. Now grenades firing down from above. That might have bounced in a great direction. Scavzy dodges it for a moment. Pell gets taken down. 4v1 scenario. Yachty's able to get one, but into another 1v1 scenario. Getting shot from above yet again. Team Queso, they're going to go ahead and go down 3-0 on game 5.
Demon, what in the blue hell do you got in that Nasher, my man? You are shooting rockets out that sucker like it was a boom shot. Every time he pulls the trigger, my man was hitting full spreads from God knows everywhere. I mean, Alice in Wonderland and the freaking cat were probably curious what kind of drug you got to be doing to hit them kind of shots, my man. That thing is incredible. He disappeared to Cheshire Cat. That's who it was, Cheshire Cat. All disappeared except for the smile on his face, just like Demon's probably got to have a big smile with a 3-0 lead here in map number 5. Identivez is very over-aggressive, but again, look at... Did you see Demon's shot tracer from the middle bridge?
That's that small, very, very small, smaller than me, of a window of opportunity that Identivez saw,
like 9 foot
and
tall.
he capitalized on it perfectly, though, Colin. He saw those two players trying to stop his teammate from getting the torque bow, and he used that to try to press over. He even got full red, but Scavzy with a team down, Demon with some Lancer over the top, and that's why they have that one-man advantage. Kardia even with the torque bow, Pell, he has a little trick up his sleeve. He does have that shock grenade, if used wisely, could prove difficult. Dodges a frag grenade, answers with that shock, but that's just going to create some separation. He's not going to be able to push up and get any of these eliminations just yet. What are you doing?
There. That's 2-2 now on the map, but the two players from Rebel, I believe, have the positioning here on the hill, and they have 3 bolts left to play with, however they wish to. They've rotated Demon over to that mid-bridge. Demon has got the mark out on Bronny. They're going to see that the Torque is by himself. They're going to pressure up on the Kardia. A lot of chance to get a kill here. Trying to get any kind of damage to go. Again, Kardia just revving up, and it's just almost like he doesn't have the ability to do anything. Frag grenade out. We'll get damage onto Bronny. Bronny won't go down just yet. They're continuing to look for multiple players and multiple angles. Picks up a shot, continuing to love around.
Take note, though. I was to say he needed to save that shot. Take note right now. Bronny still has a flash grenade in his pocket, ready to use that utility, and it's going to show underneath the bridge. They try to take the 2v1, and that cross in the back. Kardia gets both with a little bit of help. 4-0. A massive lead going over to Rebel right now. Team Queso, they don't have any answers on their side. Bronny with the big 3 eliminations, 1 teammate under him with 2, the rest of them with none. They need to figure out something or it's going to be too late.
Oh boy, this has been quite the execution of Team Queso's hopes and dreams thus far in map number 5. They are down 4-0 and 2 rounds away, Rebel, from wrapping this up. Bronny's going to push up into the top middle of the bridge. Demon is still stunned out from those flashbangs. Now Demon pushing up, trying to get behind Scavzy. Easily gets that back A off, gets the kill there. And Yachty, he's going to be full red. One more shot.
That's too much, though.
What? Oh, hit him with another one. Oh, hit him with a brick.
I usually just take like a gasp, a breath of like deep air right there in those situations, because I feel like if I don't, something might happen. I might not be able to breathe at the end of these rounds, but on the board is Team Queso. You know, first one's always the hardest, as they always say, but now you need 3 just to tie it up. Just to tie this one up, and you need to figure it out soon, because Rebel, no matter if they're going up top, no matter if they're going down low, they are the first to the punch majority of the time in these rounds.
First one's the hardest. The first cut's the deepest. The first round to win is probably the one that's going to get you back on the scoreboard. You see Bronny picking up that torque bow, trying to get the hell out of Dodge with it as well. Kardia's going to get down on him, but they're pressuring Pell on the top side of the map. Here comes Bronny. They're over-rotating the other 2 players to the top side of the map. They see that they've got 3 in front of them. They're going to try to get a cheeky pick through the cubby corner. Won't be able to get it. Now you see another shot over there to Identivez. Splash damage out. Demon has picked those nades. Those nades could easily trap Bronny in that cubby. So I think Bronny needs to try to back up. He needs to maybe get out of there, because if he gets trapped by the nades, they lose the torque. They lose probably their highest momentum slayer in this matchup.
This is where typically, if this was old execution, this one would literally go down to the wire. In the last 20 seconds, you'd have 3 players from each team kind of fly at each other, trying to get the miracle eliminations, try to solidify that victory. But this is execution 2.0. There are no stalemates. There are no draws. Torque bow over the top, not even any splash damage being netted just yet. But Team Queso are trying to make a move. They're trying to make a play. Pell goes down in the water, cleaned up by a frag grenade from Demon. They get that man advantage. So once again, another kill from Demon. That's 2 players dead. Rebel, if they win this round, they're going to be on series point. Looking to take this one away from Queso as Bronny's backing up, trying to create some ground. He hits the torque bow, but he dies. Followed that explosion as Scavzy now in a 1v2 situation here. I don't know if Rebel's even going to give him the opportunity. No, as he tries to move in, tries to eliminate Demon, and immediately gets taken out. 5-1 right now, Colin. I don't know if this is what you expected, but then at the end of the day, this is the result.
Weird enough, the 2 rounds that Team Queso is has stolen the torque bow and gotten out, they've lost. The 1 round the Team Queso won, they didn't care about the torque bow. They played around it. They went to the top middle bridge. They went to the back connector to try to come on the back side of that top middle bridge. They did not care about the torque bow. I don't know about you, but statistics say, brother, you got to stop caring about the torque bow, because the only round you won, you didn't have it.
Nice flash onto the middle bridge. That's why they have to attack the high side. Bronny goes down. Bronny goes down right here. Immediately taken out as well. That was massive, because the Demon got the meat shield. He would have gotten grenades from that because he threw his flash. Crack Falls trying to be the hero. Once again, we see a player all by himself. 1v3 with the torque, but oh my god, there goes one. That's a 1v3. Kardia was one of those players that had that opportunity before to clutch it, but unfortunately he gets taken out. 5-2. They're still on series point though.
Them boys are batting 1,000 when they don't care about the torque bow, PR. The second round they won is the second round they stopped caring about the torque bow. I'm telling you, I'm going after it. You need to get into a better position to be able to get Lancer shots out and help your teammates to get these early picks. They've broken ice and have not picked up torque bow, and they've won the 2 rounds that they have because of it. They need to continue to get into those same positions and force Rebel to make some mistakes. Lancer fire onto Demon early. He's marked up. He's going to get to the top side of that bridge. Shots over the top, down onto Bronny. He's not going to be able to connect with a second or a third, but the 4th hits not just a brick. It hits not just a condominium or a timeshare. That thing was an entire city block, and he puts him down into the ground. Scavzy's going to rotate and run around, but all he's going to do is say, hey, ho, why don't you just shoot me one more time, finish this thing off. Pell chunked into oblivion. 6-2. 3 maps in a row for Rebel to come back in this one and win it 3-2.
Man, I feel like some of the words I was saying early on, Rebel kind of faltering, those inconsistency issues shining through, but in the end, they were able to execute onto their game plans. It didn't matter if it was 3 or 5 maps, Rebel comes out victorious. And for Team Queso, it's almost like back to the drawing board, but at least you don't have to start from scratch.
You do not have to start from scratch. You definitely have some things that you can probably hang your hat on and feel very good about in a matchup against a team like Rebel, where you take that early 2-0 lead, and then you got to figure out how to win that escalation. That's one of those things where you start to come back, you continue to chip away at Rebel, but you end up falling. If you shut down at 3-0, you don't start making those conversations of what can we do in the control, and then as you lose in the control, it's like, all right, what can we do in the execution? You don't ever have to have those if you just finish this bad boy off earlier in the night. So I think right now, take away the things that you're happy about from maps 1 and 2, and then just try to examine what went wrong map 3, because you got dominated in map 5. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or ways around it. You should, might want to watch it back just to see what might have happened, what you might be able to clean up. But it's not like you're going to change one round and you're going to end up winning that sucker.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. Like you said, they go for the torque bow. They lose a couple of those rounds. They give up the torque bow, and once again, Rebel just really setting the tone on execution, like I said. Even though I don't think we've saw it above and beyond this series. When it comes to execution, I do believe Rebel is going to be one of those teams to where they have the strategy, they have the tricks up their sleeves. So I don't think they're going to fall, so they're going to slow down at all when it comes to a map like execution.